which ends up in choking credit card debt. By the end of 2000, by the end of the year 2000, the average cardholder had $8,123 in credit card debt. That's Newsweek, August 27, 2001. Today, I didn't put this in your notes, you might want to write this down. Today, what does the average family own? In credit card debt. What do you think it is? So it was $8,000 then, it's $16,700 now. It doubled. I have not paid interest on a credit card but once in my whole life. And that was because I missed a payment on Christmas. I pay, if I use my credit card, I use cash a lot. If I use my credit card, I pay it off every month. I never let there be a layoff. They charge you what? 17, 18, 19, 29%. Yeah, I mean, I can't even, I wouldn't imagine doing that. And sometimes when I sit down with folks, I sit down with people and say, well, my credit card debt isn't that bad. I say, well, it's not. What do you have? It's $15,000. I'm like, $15,000? And sometimes $75,000. And I'm like, oh man, that's not what God wants. And just what the scripture says is essentially the borrower is slave of the lender. And it's a pretty tough thing. And again, why does that happen? Because again, Madison Avenue is tricking us all the time. And here's something I just want to tell you: if you pay for things with credit card, you will spend 30% more. Go shopping with a credit card, you spend 30% more. Go shopping with cash, you spend 30% less. That's just something to look at. I've had some people that I've counseled in the church who have gotten credit card free. They keep a credit card for just specific things you're going to need it for, but they don't use the credit card, they use cash. Husband and wife are working on cash, or they're individually, and what they do is, again, they're able not to accumulate any kind of credit card debt, and they're able to get out of debt. So that's important. Keep out of debt. And our country is a terrible teacher and a terrible example of this, because how much does our country owe right now? $20 trillion. You know how scary it is? If we don't pay that off, one day the piper's going to come and say, we want our money. It's China. It's a bankrupt country. And it has to be dealt with some way. Number 7 is the secret of contentment. And the Bible talks about contentment, and in Philippians chapter 4, 11 through 13, Paul says, not that I speak in regard to need, for I have learned in whatever state I am in to be content. Let me tell you, that's a lesson to learn. This is the golden lesson of life. Learn to be content. It says, I know how to be abased, and I know how to abound everywhere in all things. I have learned both to be full and to be hungry, both to abound and to suffer need. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. But Paul, he's saying the secret is I've learned to be happy whether I have a lot or have a little. That's what he's saying. I've learned to be content. I've learned to be joyful, whether I have a lot or a little. And I just tell you this about life. That is how life goes. You're going to find that there's times you're going to have a lot, and there's times you're going to have a little. And if you're constantly in want for more, you're going to be unhappy all the time. So it also tells us in 1 Timothy 6 and 7, but godliness with contentment is great gain, for we brought nothing into the world, and we can take nothing out of it. Geez, maybe that's where I learned it from. The deception of materialism is the thing that if you have more, you're going to be happy. And let me just tell you, there is a point where more and more and more is not going to make you happy. Now, if you don't have a place to live, you're going to experience unhappiness. If you don't have food on the table, you're going to experience unhappiness. If you have a gross debt on credit cards, there's going to be a level of pressure that's going to put on you, and there's going to be a level of unhappiness. But there's just a point. When you're paying your bills, okay, your bills are being paid, you have food on the table, you're caring for your needs, just more and more and more doesn't make effect. Let me tell you my experience. I've dealt with a lot of very, very wealthy people. And a lot of people who have, they make this, again, the rich and famous. What is the guy who does the stories of the rich and famous? What's that? I don't watch it either. But that guy comes on, the rich and famous, and here's the house right in Beverly Hills, and he takes you up, and they got the house in the Alps, and they got this, and it's like you have to have this to be happy and to fulfill life. Those people who have all that stuff, you know what? They're worried all the time. They're worried about the stock market. They're worried about the prices of their property investments. I see some of the most miserable people I've ever met are people who have a lot. But there's just a point where when everything's met, more and more and more is not going to make you happy. But the way you are programmed in this country is you have to have more, you have to have more, you have to have more. Like somehow you're not good enough if you don't have more. You're not valuable enough if you don't have more. And that's not what God says. Your value is intrinsic as a child of God. And there's nothing you can do to increase that value and that love that God has for you. So this is the devil's, let me tell you, the devil is duping. And he dupes us into thinking that we just have to have more and more and more to be happy. And it's a scary thing. Madison Avenue is where the marketing comes out of. And they're always tricking us. And you have to be careful with it because they make you think that you need what you want. And then we start spending the money that we really need, again, to be using for survival and for our future, and we start wasting it away because we fall into that trap. Let me just say, some of you are in network marketing, right? You guys are in network marketing. Anybody else in network marketing? I just want to tell you this, as I've done a lot of motivational speaking for network marketing companies, and I've chosen not to work with some. Because what they do is they put this pressure on people and they brainwash them to think that if they just go to the next level, make more money, go to the next level, make more money, go to the next, and that's where you're going to be happy. And that's where but the problem is, you're never happy. And I see the people in these companies, and some of them are making lots of